Hey everyone, Water Elemental here, giving you an update on what's going on with the channel right now. We made some promises at the beginning of the year to reevaluate a lot of our upload schedule and try to make things more streamlined for everybody in the end, especially with the way Axis and I are dealing with work and our scheduling conflicts. And one of the main things we've been talking about is filling in with a secondary podcast or a secondary show every other week and rotating off with the League of Legends podcast. Now, while we are still working on what we want to fill that secondary podcast in and who's going to be on the show and all that stuff, we've already had to cut back on how often we do the show. And I wanted to kind of do a video explaining why the schedule for the podcast has changed and kind of what we're going to do to give you more quality over quantity. And the main thing is League is slowing down in updates. League is slowing down in interesting news we want to cover. If we cut out patch notes and we cut out a lot of stuff that is like fluff or like designer stuff that really isn't something we should cover, we have a 10-minute show. And that's not interesting to kind of discuss and, theorize and all the stuff that we do, and is some of the most interesting stuff that we can provide as a podcast. We can talk about notes, we can talk about changes, but everybody knows, everybody can read the patch notes. That's not something that we can change or make interesting. When a new character comes out, we can talk about the metagame, what we've seen, what we enjoy, what we dislike, art style, a lot of things that we can give our opinions on, and actually a lot of people commented on what they find interesting. And if there's no news to talk about, there is no reason for us to do a podcast. And unfortunately, that's why we are shifting it to a once every 2 week schedule. That will also relieve some of the pressure to record and burn ourselves out. And that's one thing I'm trying to avoid. With the way our schedules are, we get home, Axis works nights, I work days. When we do get to record and there's nothing interesting, we don't have it in us. And I've heard that in a lot of episodes where we're just not feeling it. There's episodes like the Warwick where we were very, very interested and very, very excited about it. And then we had patch notes weeks where we were just phoning it in, and I could just tell that both of us were trying our hardest to be interesting, and it just wasn't happening. So we are switching to the 2 week schedule, and we are also going to fill out with more, with another show that is going to be more generalized around gaming and media. Card games, board games, all that stuff. It's something I have notes on and I've been planning, and Sayla, he's been on a couple episodes, and my roommate, he's been helping out with, and I've got other people in talks with too. I've got Belier, who's with me for the Dark Souls Let's Play, and just all sorts of other people that have been on the show past and present that we can bring on and have some fun with. Now, what this also means is I'm going to try, and I say try my hardest, to get more of the gameplay videos up. I have a lot of stuff backlogged that I need to get to. The problem is time. I've had to work a lot of late nights. I haven't had a chance to edit, and when I have been, it's exhausting. So I love doing the show. I still love editing. I still love putting out videos because people out there are watching. People are enjoying it. I really love the Dark Souls, and I want to kind of put that into more games. So what the plan is the weeks that we don't have the League podcast, until we can get this situation going on where we get a steady schedule and we can keep to it, is I'm going to fill that week up with more Dark Souls and Hex. And what I might do is, this is all tentative, is the week of the League of Legends podcast, I'm going to try to put out some more Hex content. And the weeks we have this new podcast video out, I'm going to do more Dark Souls, and we're going to have it rotate. If anything, I want to kind of move that towards one Dark Soul, one Hex, one podcast a week. Now, that's a lot to offer, especially getting another person to record with, but I have so much backlogged on 2 of these games that I can do 2 of the 3. And so I'm going to try to, by the end of the month, figure out a way to do that, because it's still something I want to keep up with, and we want to keep the channel growing in some way or another. We do have patrons, and I appreciate everybody's patience that have donated in the past and present. I'm going to make sure that you guys are getting the same quality content you backed us for, and that's the main reason I'm trying my hardest to resolve this kind of busyness in life and prioritizing the hobby that I enjoy so much. So I'll keep you guys up to date when we get the podcast going. I've done a couple test recordings, and we've got some stuff planned out. So we're going to keep at it. We're going to figure out what's going to work, what's not going to work, and when we're ready to reveal this new show, I hope you guys enjoy it. And it's worth the wait, because it's something we've been talking about for a while, and it's just hard to get right. We kind of struck lightning after a while on how the podcast was, but the podcast wasn't always as fluid in our heads as it is now. So that's me rambling. I apologize. Gonna try to get some more Dark Souls edited this weekend, as well as try to get some Hex recorded, because we got a new set coming out, and it's really hard to start recording, but once I get recording, I record a lot. So that's the update. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you guys have suggestions, please let me know in the comment section down below, or email us at spasticgaming@gmail.com, or on our website. Anywhere to leave feedback is appreciated, and feedback is always loved. So thank you very much for watching. I'm going to talk to Kiefer right now, see if we can get a video going by Friday. Hopefully get it in the weekend this is put up on YouTube. So see you guys on the next League podcast, and hopefully some other content sometime this week. Till then, I'm Water Elemental, and see you guys next time.